AI mode is an extension of AI overviews. If you were searching Google for the past year, especially if you live in the United States, you had that feature earlier. AI overviews for most queries, especially if those are informational queries, Google will generate AI answer. It picks Google's search results. Basically, most of them are high-ranking URLs that are indexed and ranking in Google, summarize them and give you an answer that is so detailed and in most cases so extensive that people do not click anywhere in search results and go on with their research or with their lives. Those AI overviews were stealing clicks from publishers, so there is no need to click. Now there is AI mode. That is a separate tab in search results. If you open Google and search for something, you will see multiple tabs. They have always been there. Those are news, images, there could be shopping results, video results, and now there is a new tab that is AI mode. It's not default. People have to click to it to actually use it. And it works very much like AI overviews, but you can interact with that mode further. Just like you are using ChatGPT at this point, you can ask follow-up questions, give other tasks until that tab becomes the default, which is a very, very probable future. You will not see as much impact for your site because of that tab. We have to get ready for that now because there are no easy solutions to that. So how does AI mode actually work? It first relies on Google's index. So the first and the most important step, the fundamental step, is to be in Google's index. That is the part of SEO that is not changing. We always start with checking if that URL is indexed or if the site has a good number of indexed pages that Google knows about. Now, the second part, that is where it gets very interesting, is generating actually the summary, a reply to a person's query. That is done by Gemini. They take all that information that Google is providing. Usually that's based on rankings. Most of those URLs that you will see in AI mode or AI overviews rank somewhere on top of search results. Those URLs will be taken and combined in a good, very well researched summary. This is AI mode. This is the first tab at this point in Google, but it is not yet the default one. Here I was searching for compare best CRM solutions. To the right, you see all the URLs. I think it says 18 URLs that Google was using to generate this answer. So what is happening? Someone wants to choose a CRM solution. What they do, they search all kinds of queries. What is CRM? How to manage my client relationships better? How to scale my business? Ultimately, they get to a point that they understand they need a good, affordable CRM solution. So they start searching for options and they start searching for what is there. They have their budget. They don't know yet which features they need because they're so early in the sales funnel. But they read and read and read all those listicles, comparisons. Then they narrow down their search to a few options and they start searching for those options in particular. They start searching for HubSpot CRM reviews, Monday CRM reviews. So they start searching for all those specific brand-driven queries to understand if there's something they want to pick. It can take days, weeks, sometimes it can take months to figure out what they need, especially if it's something that the company will be integrated with or that's a car that costs a lot. So this is what they used to be doing, our customers. Now what they do, they pick AI mode and it does all the research on their behalf. Gemini actually goes to each URL, reads the page, picks up something that matters, and then if you click this little URL icon, you will see to the right the specific pages Gemini used to summarize for this particular part. The next thing I did, I figured out that I'm looking for a CRM solution for small or mid-sized businesses. So I asked to compare HubSpot versus Zoho, and here there is the answer. And I found this chart very, very interesting because Gemini just generated it on its own, based on its own research, independent research. In other words, if you think about that, AI mode can make buying decisions on customers' behalf. Customers no longer, I can imagine that very little percent of actual people will check these URLs to verify if this is correct and up to date. In most cases, I suspect people will just base their buying decisions on AI behalf. At this point, you have to search Zoho CRM and convert on this site because, as you can see, there are no links to the actual solutions. So this is where the branded search is already on the rise because people have nowadays think that Zoho seems like a better option. So they have to copy paste, go to Google and search for the actual site to buy that. So branded search is very important at this point. But I think we are months away from the reality when people would be like, okay, and they type here, okay, I want to buy Zoho CRM, do that for me. So I think that is something that we will be facing as well at the near future. There are no clicks, no traffic, but the buying decisions are made here at some point in the future. I'm sure there will be a lot of integrations that it will allow people to buy from here as well without ever going to the site. Now, what it means for SEO in particular. Search engine optimization, as I told you earlier, the fundamental parts are not changing. You have to have a website to have the brand visibility and to be an entity. Your website should be usable, fast, accessible. All of those things are still there. So the fundamental part of search engine optimization, at least how it started, because in essence, search engine optimization is just making it easier for the crawler to find and crawl your website. The extensions, link building, keyword research, all of that already extensions of that fundamental part of search engine optimization. We needed to make our websites crawlable, accessible by machines. What we need to know about traffic, as I just showed to you, those little URLs, yes, we know how to optimize our content for AI. It's not very, very different from optimizing for search engines. You still need to be relevant. You still need to solve problems. You still need to know what people needs are to satisfy them on your pages. Those are also fundamental parts of creating content. We know that, and we will be optimizing our pages for that little panel that people will probably not even click because it's a lot of URLs and they are not as much needed as the actual answer. So traffic will be going down, but the goal of SEO at this point will be making sure that our clients are in those answers, whether they are linked or not. How do we do that? Checkandsmarty.com. Previously, we were talking about becoming a brand that is different from other brands and showing it to Google and AI bots. This is the first step to being findable. You have to be relevant to specific problems that people are asking AI mode or ChatGPT. We have to be a differentiated brand, solving specific customers' problems, so that when those customers with their very specific and narrow problems ask questions in AI mode, you will be part of the answer and your brand will be there, whether there is a link or no link. That is fundamentally how AI is changing SEO, but it's not changing. I have been talking about the importance of building a brand and becoming an entity for as long as I can remember, for more than 10 years. That's the only way in the future to be part of that discovery channel, to be right there in the answer. One more thing that is changing is keyword research. Again, it's not a huge change because we've been doing that for a long time. And this is where it gets interesting. Search results give direct answers to a search query. Someone types a query and Google would match documents that mention those keywords to the search query and gives you all the options. AI is much smarter like that, for better or for worse. We don't know yet, but AI is trying to guess what else people need to find solutions to their problems. It's not the direct match anymore. So there will be follow-up research. They will suggest how you should be thinking to make a choice, what other resources, what other follow-up questions you may need, what to look for when doing your research. They will be trying to be even more helpful. So AI mode, why you would see different URLs, not just those ranking in search results for that query, but also something else. Exactly for that reason, they will try to extend the answer to something that AI thinks is going to help you with your research or with your problem. So keywords are not just exact match keywords anymore. You have to answer follow-up questions on that page. You have to know the related, closely related queries or keywords. You have to do semantic analysis. Again, this is nothing new. Google has been using AI for many years now, but in the background. If you remember Hummingbird, that's semantic search update. If you remember BERT or other updates, some of those are machine learning updates when Google is trying to understand more than word strings in a query, but they are trying to understand the context behind the query, what exactly people want, and adjust search results based on that. You remember people also ask related brands, related searches, all of those are Google trying to do the same as what we are now observing in AI mode and ChatGPT. It's not exactly new for SEO because we stopped optimizing for exact match keywords a while ago. We still use them. We still do keyword research. That's helpful to understand our target audience. We still use keywords in content whenever we can, but it's not exact match anymore. You have to go further. You have to put yourself in your customer's shoes and actually ask yourself, what else would be helpful for people searching for that to make that buying decision or to make the final decision or to answer their questions. Another term to remember here is also fan out technique that's trying to provide follow-up resources, follow-up questions, follow-up something for people to continue their research in the right direction. I hope that will change something in your SEO, keyword, and content optimization strategies because that's the future. Co-citation links, PR, good old PR that we are very good at, just being mentioned by journalists, by trustworthy publications. Reddit mentions will be very important still because Reddit is being used by Google to create that database of user-generated content and solutions that people actually provide. So all of those will matter, and luckily we help with that, building the authority of a site by sending all those signals and turning them into brands and entities.